Welcome to her exit story. I'm Norma. He never hit me. Let me just start there. Because that's the line people look for, right? That imaginary threshold where it finally counts as abuse. But he didn't need fists. He had something sharper, words, and apologies. Always followed by an apology. It would start small. A comment, a sigh, a slight dig, something that stung, but not enough to cry about, not enough to prove anything. Then I'd get that look, that sideways tilt of the head. And he'd say, "God, I'm sorry." I didn't mean it like that. I'd nod. Because what else do you do? Fight over a tone of voice? A joke that wasn't funny? So I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself, at least he apologized. But it never stopped. The jokes got meaner, the digs went deeper, and every time I flinched, he'd offer another, "I'm sorry." And I'd accept it, over and over, like forgiveness was my currency and peace was the prize. That's how the cycle begins. Not with anger, not with violence, but with the slow erosion of your worth, and a soft, sorrowful bandage afterward. See, the scariest part wasn't when he was mad, it was when he was kind, when he brought me flowers, made me breakfast, held me, and said, "I don't know why I get like that. You just mean so much to me." That's the hook. You start confusing remorse with love. You start believing that the apology means change. And that hope, that tiny flicker that maybe this time will be different, that's what keeps you there. I became fluent in excuses. He's just stressed. He didn't mean it. It's not always like this. And I became the queen of hiding from my friends, my family, myself. Because if I admitted something was wrong, I'd have to do something about it. And I wasn't ready. I didn't feel strong. I felt ashamed, embarrassed, terrified of being judged, terrified of being alone. So I stayed through the good days and the bad ones and the ones that blurred between the two. Because for every silent treatment, there was a sweet kiss after. For every cruel word, there was a soft, "I love you." For every emotional wound, there was a carefully crafted apology. And those apologies, they felt like oxygen. They made me feel seen, heard, wanted, even if just for a moment. I started collecting them, storing them like proof. See? He does love me. He knows he hurt me. He said he was sorry, but here's what I learned too late. An apology without change is just another layer of manipulation. He wasn't sorry he hurt me. He was sorry I noticed. He was sorry I reacted. He was sorry I cried. He was sorry I didn't just move on quietly. It took me years to see it, to realize I wasn't healing. I was being groomed, broken, put back together, but only in ways that served him. I remember one night, I had finally spoken up, said, "I don't like the way you talk to me." And instead of listening, he got cold, distant, didn't touch me for 3 days, didn't look at me, didn't speak until I apologized. Me, apologizing for setting a boundary. That was the moment I saw it, the cycle, not just the one he put me in, but the one I stayed in. Because love had started to feel like tiptoes, like holding my breath, like shrinking. And when I finally left, when I walked out that door and didn't turn back, I expected grief, but what I didn't expect was silence. No begging, no chasing, just gone. Because once he knew I couldn't be manipulated anymore, I wasn't useful to him. And that silence, it hurt more than the insults, more than the guilt trips, more than the apologies, because it confirmed what I had always feared. It was never love. It was control. The sorries were strategy. He didn't miss me. He missed his grip on me. But here's what I know now. Healing doesn't begin with someone else's apology. It begins when you stop accepting them, when you decide your peace matters more than their regret, when you reclaim your voice, your dignity, your truth. And that truth, it's not always clean. It's not always empowering right away. Sometimes it looks like crying in your car. Sometimes it looks like texting your best friend, "I think I messed up." Sometimes it looks like starting over with nothing except your name and your freedom, but it's yours. And there is nothing more sacred than choosing yourself. So to the woman still stuck in that cycle of, "Sorry, I see you. You are not broken. You are not dramatic. You are not hard to love. You are just finally waking up. And when you do, you won't need their apology. You'll write your own ending. And I promise you, it's going to be powerful. This is Norma. And if you felt this, if you see yourself in my words, there's more. More stories, more truth, more healing. Come listen to Avia's full story on our YouTube channel. Links in the bio. You are not alone. You never were. You're just finally ready to break the cycle.